2025 BMW 230i M Sport. This is probably unlike any other 230i you've seen before. This has been spec'd to the ceiling, to the roof. MSRP $55,000. At that price point, most people would go for an M240i. But today we're going to answer the question, should some buyers actually opt for a 230i that is well equipped instead of an M240i? We're powered by the B48. That's a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, making 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. It is normally open diff, but in this example, it is not. We're weighing in at 3,450 pounds with a 51 to 49 front to rear weight distribution and a 108-inch wheelbase. We have strut front and multi-link rear with electric power steering. Now, normally, a less well-equipped 230i is going to be around $40,000, and on the used market you can have one for around $30K. The owner, Jimmy, bought it a year ago, got it appraised recently, so after 1 year of ownership it went from $55K down to $35K. Holy depreciation, which makes sense, right? Because people aren't going to pay the huge massive premium on these specific options, which might make it a bargain for those who do care about this stuff. Because this car is optioned with a few goodies that you don't ever really see, at least not all together, on a 230i. That would be, number one, the M Sport suspension, the M ELSD, and the M brake calipers. You also get the M variable ratio steering rack as well, although I'm not sure how important that is. I think the other three are quite important. Now, in terms of mods, we have a custom alignment, G-Loc R10 front, R8 rear brake pads, and RE71RZ tires, 235 in the front and 255 in the rear. That is a little bit more in the front. Normally it's at 225, so an extra 10 mils of section width. And keep in mind, this is actually almost 400 pounds lighter than an M240i in certain configurations. M240i can be had rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, which is why the owner has rear-wheel drive only as his license plate. This car is immaculate. I feel like I don't even want to touch anything. Everything here is so pristine. Open pore wood grain. Interior is just like any other modern BMW. You got your two screens, love it or hate it, it is what it is. I actually love the seating position because of this steering wheel extender. You can get it nice and close, which is refreshing for those who want to have a more sporty seating position. You're seated low, legs far out, and the steering wheel nice and close to you without having to have your back fully up. Nice, thick M steering wheel here. Feels great to the hands, nice and chunky. And we're going to put this right up to Sport Plus. The HVAC being behind the screen. Guys, why do we have to do that, man? Just have a little knob or something. You give me volume here, but no. Sorry, guys. I hate to be old man, yells at sky, but that's how I'm feeling these days. All right, so we go to drive, and then you pull it back, which has the transmission in the sportiest setting. And one of the first things you notice is how light the front end is. Compared to the M240i, which has a lot of that extra weight just over the front axle, or near the front axle rather, the front end here feels very light and responsive. I actually reviewed an M2 versus an M240i versus a 230i, a three-way comparison you can find linked below, and that was one of the key findings there. Steering is pretty numb, no surprise there. Decently sharp though. And we have a fast steering ratio. That's what BMW and many manufacturers are doing to make the car feel a little more nimble, a little more agile. Brakes have a nice, solid modulation to them, and they're not overly firm. They're more on the side of a regular car rather than super sporty, but you have nice, a good amount of travel and higher resolution. Don't know what I did there to cause that. unless it was automatic. Yeah, see the B48, you're not really getting as much oomph as you may want from your sporty daily. And the upshifts and the downshifts in this versus something like an inline 6 from BMW, B58, S58, etc., made it to the same ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. It seems to be a little bit more, a better fit or better match tuning-wise because it's quicker. It's not a bad matching here, but you do feel it's sluggish on both the upshifts and the downshifts in comparison. Also, it doesn't really keep pulling all the way to redline. The engine in these cars is essentially one of the main limiting factors, but the rest of the way this car drives is actually not bad. Not bad at all. Got the shift lights as you approach redline. So even though the engine is not the star of the show, when you go to the corners, you feel the front end being far more willing to change direction, that added lightness. It feels so much more responsive. Rejecting my shifts, being a little more conservative. Come on, give me 2. There we go. Sure, I'll break it in and get on the throttle. Okay, you can feel a little bit of the LSD at the back. You really got to stomp on it though, because you don't have that much torque, that much power to really get things moving. And the suspension tuning is still very much optimized for comfort, right? It does feel a little bit floaty. Now the suspension here is definitely quite compliant. It's optimized to be a daily driver, right? This is not trying to be a dedicated sports car. Yeah, the ELSD, I'm actually feeling it wanting to help a little bit on some of these corners. Not all of them. Because that power is lower, you have to really have the right conditions and be hard on the throttle to actually elicit any of that added yaw. And it's not really adding yaw, it's more of like giving the hint, the suggestion that it's just about to, or maybe it's trying to and it can't quite. Maybe that's the more accurate way to put it. But yeah, the suspension is very soft, very compliant, very comfortable, and far more daily driver focused than Bomb the Canyon focused. It's not bad, right? It is a little bit on the floaty side, but we are several hundred pounds lighter than an M240i, and as a result, you know, it's not the sharpest, not the most responsive, but it's also not wallowy. Now, Jimmy, the owner, is a very passionate owner, and I love the energy he brings. He cares a lot about this car, very knowledgeable, and for someone like him, this is the perfect car. But I would say that most people are probably going to be better off getting an M240i, because in modern day, you know, having a... Dude, it's so funny when the NPCs get on your tail on the straights and they want to go really fast, but then you get to the corners and then, like, sometimes they'll even prevent you from overtaking them in the passing zones. Anyways, most people are going to want a more special engine, the B58 rather than the B48 with the M240i, and not everyone does though. Some people are going to want to actually have that lighter front end feel and really optimize for that, which is great. And I think, you know, there's the argument to be made that many people tend to over-index on engine and under-index on things like handling, because spec sheets, right? It's a lot easier to measure the engine from a spec sheet rather than horsepower and torque. But I think the counter argument to that is, well, engines are becoming less and less special as the years go on. You're getting more hybridized, more EV, more, I mean, both of these engines are turbocharged, but you know what I mean. Like, people are craving that from their fun car now more so than ever before. And while I do think that these additions, the M Sport suspension and the brakes and the LSD, they are notable improvements over the 230i. I think that it depends on the kind of driving you want to do and what your priorities lie. So I think this road is more optimized for higher speed, higher power cars. I think this car would really excel on something tighter and more technical. NPC now really on my butt. Okay then. So I do think that this car would be really great on a tighter technical road because you have that weight savings and you have the options that are going to improve the way this handles a tighter technical section, right? When the ELSD is going to do more work on lower speed, tighter corners rather than higher speed sweepers. The added weight savings, especially over the front axle, is going to help that responsiveness as you're turning in more technical corners, right? So I think it's the driver preference of handling over power and engine, character, because the B48 versus the B58 is a very, very big gap. But then also the kind of roads and the kind of driving that you like to do. And honestly, I tend to prefer the more technical roads because I find those more challenging, more rewarding, more interesting. And this road is kind of more in the middle. It's not super high-speed sweeper, but it's also not low-speed technical. Just probably not the best road suited for this car. And there you have it, my friends. Fully loaded 230i, owned by Jimmy. A very unique car that makes you reconsider what is important and what are your priorities when it comes to ownership and making a vehicle choice. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Big shout out to the owner Jimmy for letting me review his car. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jubbalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Much love, my friends, and I'll see you all in that next one.